All right, so are you ready for a weird one today?
Haha. I'm always up for a weird one, but what do you have in mind?
So it's not really our typical deep dive topic, but,
Okay.
it's 2024.
True.
Anything goes right.
That is true.
So,
What is it?
monkeys,
Escapees?
escaped monkeys,
Okay.
43 of them,
Oh,
to be
wow.
exact.
That's a lot of monkeys.
They broke out of this research facility in South Carolina.
Oh, no.
It's like, real life ape escape,
Oh, my gosh.
but like way less PlayStation and way more,
Yeah.
potential chaos, I guess.
43 escaped monkeys.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of potential for mayhem. Where did this even happen?
UMassey, South Carolina.
Okay.
It's a small town.
I've never heard of it.
Probably not used to having like troops of monkeys just swinging through the streets.
Yeah, I can imagine. So what kind of research facility are we even talking about?
It's called alphagenesis.
Okay.
Apparently, they're like a big deal in the primate research world,
Oh, okay.
breeding monkeys and providing research services,
Mm.
the whole 9 yards.
Interesting. Alphagenesis, I think they're known for their work with several different types of monkeys. Cynomolgus rhesus capuchin. Do we know, like, what species these escapees are?
The reports say they're rhesus macaques,
Rhesus macaques.
which honestly makes this whole thing even crazier.
Yeah,
Like, these aren't just any monkeys.
right.
They're smart.
Mm-hmm.
They're used in all sorts of research, even stuff on progressive brain disorders. Like,
Yeah.
what are these monkeys up to in there?
Yeah, like, it really makes you wonder.
Right.
Especially considering some of those clinical trials, they involve some pretty complex stuff. Like, they're trying to find treatments for diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's.
And now they're roaming free in South Carolina.
That's wild.
Like, it's like something out of a movie.
Seriously.
First, Trump pulls off that second term, shocker, and now this.
Oh my gosh.
What's next?
Alien invasion.
Oh, gosh. I'm starting to think anything is possible at this point.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
But I get where you're coming from. It's certainly been an interesting year.
Interesting is one word for it.
Yeah.
But, okay, back to the monkeys. Should people be worried?
Right.
Wait, these are research monkeys.
Yeah.
Could they be carrying something?
Yeah, that's a valid concern. But the UMassey Police Department has said that there's no health risk associated with these animals.
Okay, that's good to hear. But still, I bet folks are a little freaked out.
Oh, for sure.
So what are they doing to catch them?
Well, from what I've read, the police and Alphagenesis are working together. They're setting up traps and using thermal imaging cameras. It sounds like they're pulling out all the stops.
Wow, a high-tech monkey hunt, man. 2024 is just something else.
It's really proving to be unpredictable.
So, like, if you were living in UMassey right now, what would you be doing?
Mm.
Aside from, like, barricading yourself indoors with a year's supply of bananas.
Well, the authorities are advising residents to keep their doors and windows secured and, most importantly, do not approach or interact with the monkeys. Okay. If you spot one, call 911 immediately.
Okay, got it. Stay inside, lock your doors, and leave the monkey wrangling to the professionals.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, this whole situation has kind of given me a flashbacks to that truck carrying 100 lab monkeys that crashed a couple years back. Remember that?
I do remember that.
Everyone was like on edge until they were all accounted for.
Yeah. Thankfully, they were all eventually found, but it does highlight how these situations can get out of hand really quickly.
Yeah, for sure. It makes you wonder if this kind of thing happens more often than we realize.
It does make you wonder. And actually, you're right. It isn't the first time that monkeys have escaped in this area.
Really?
Yeah, it seems like South Carolina has a bit of a history with runaway primates.
No way. Seriously. Tell me more. This is getting way too interesting.
So just this past May, a Japanese macaque got loose in Walterboro, which isn't too far from UMassey.
Oh, wow.
And sadly, it was later found dead.
Oh, man, that's sad. But wait, there's more, right? You said history?
Right. Even Alphagenesis had an incident back in 2016 where 19 monkeys escaped.
No way.
Yeah, they were recaptured after about 6 hours, but still,
So this Alphagenesis place has a track record, huh?
it seems that way.
Maybe they need to invest in some better security measures,
Right.
like electrified fences or something.
Yeah, it does raise questions about their protocols and whether they're doing enough to prevent these escapes.
Totally. And not just like the immediate danger to people, but like the long-term impact too.
Right.
What if these monkeys aren't caught?
Yeah,
Could they like establish a wild colony?
it's possible.
I've seen enough nature documentaries to know that introducing a non-native species can really mess things up.
You're thinking along the right lines. It's definitely a possibility. And there's actually a precedent for that in South Carolina. Have you ever heard of Morgan Island?
Morgan Island. Rings a bell. Wait, is that the one they call Monkey Island?
That's the one. It's home to a colony of about 3,500 rhesus macaques.
What?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, they were originally relocated there from Puerto Rico back in the 70s
Right.
due to concerns about overpopulation and disease.
Hold up, an entire island full of monkeys. How have I never heard of this before?
You know, it's pretty crazy.
It's like something straight out of Pirates of the Caribbean,
Right?
but with way more primates and probably less Johnny Depp.
Definitely less Johnny Depp. It's quite a sight, apparently.
Wow.
The island is uninhabited by humans, and the monkeys are allowed to roam freely. There are even boat tours that take people around the island.
What?
Yeah, for a glimpse of these furry inhabitants in their natural habitat.
That's both awesome and terrifying.
Yeah,
Imagine being on a boat and suddenly hundreds of monkeys surround you.
I know.
Talk about a primate party, but seriously though, if they can manage 3,500 monkeys on an island, why can't they keep 43 from escaping a research facility?
Well, managing a contained island population is very different from securing a research facility with all its complexities.
Okay, that's fair.
But it does make you wonder if there are lessons to be learned from how they handle things on Morgan Island.
Yeah, good point. Maybe Alpha Genesis needs to consult with a Monkey Island crew and get some tips.
Right.
Or, just hire some of those monkeys as security guards.
Uh-huh.
I bet they'd be pretty good at keeping their own kind in line.
No, that's an idea. I'm not sure how practical it would be, but it certainly paints a humorous picture.
Okay, maybe not the best idea, but seriously, this whole thing raises some big questions.
Yeah.
Like, what happens if they don't catch all these escaped monkeys?
Right.
Could South Carolina end up with, multiple monkey islands?
It's a possibility.
And what about the impact on the ecosystem?
Those are valid concerns. Escaped monkeys, especially in significant numbers, can disrupt the balance of an ecosystem. They could compete with native species for resources, damage crops, and even spread diseases.
And let's not forget, these are research monkeys.
Right.
We don't know exactly what they were exposed to.
That's true.
What if they're carrying something that could jump to humans?
It's possible.
We've seen that happen before.
That's true. While the authorities have downplayed the health risks in this specific case, the potential for zoonotic diseases, those that can transmit from animals to humans, is always a concern when dealing with captive animals, especially primates.
Oh, man. This is starting to feel less like ape escape and more like outbreak.
Uh-huh.
Okay, maybe not that dramatic, but still, it's a reminder that these escapes can have serious consequences.
Absolutely, and it highlights the importance of responsible research practices, stringent security measures, and contingency plans for dealing with these situations when they do occur. Because, let's face it, as long as there are monkeys in captivity, there's always a chance of an escape.
So what's the solution here?
Yeah.
More regulations,
Mm.
better oversight? Do we need a dedicated monkey escape task force?
Uh-huh.
I'm half joking, but also maybe not.
Well, a dedicated task force might be a bit extreme, but you're hitting on some important points. There's definitely a need for greater transparency and accountability within the primate research industry, and perhaps stricter regulations and enforcement are needed to ensure the safety of both the animals and the public.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to laugh at the absurdity of a bunch of monkeys running loose.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's a serious situation with potentially serious consequences.
Exactly, and it's a reminder that our actions, even in seemingly controlled environments like research facilities, can have ripple effects that extend far beyond the immediate situation.
This whole thing has been a real eye-opener. Who knew a bunch of escaped monkeys could spark such a deep dive into ethics, ecology, and public safety?
It's a testament to the interconnectedness of things you pull on one thread, and it unravels a whole tapestry of related issues.
Well said. And hey, maybe that's the takeaway for our listeners today.
Yeah.
Sometimes the most unexpected events can lead to the most insightful conversations.
Indeed, it's all about staying curious, asking questions, and being open to learning new things, even if it starts with a bunch of monkeys on the loose.
So they make it sound like super high tech.
Yeah.
Can they actually see the monkeys in the dark with these cameras?
Yeah, pretty much thermal imaging cameras detect heat signatures so they can see in complete darkness.
Oh, wow.
It's not like regular night vision, which amplifies existing light.
Right.
It picks up on the heat given off by living things, even through foliage or other obstacles.
So it's like they've got Heat-seeking monkey detectors.
Basically.
That's pretty wild.
It is pretty sophisticated technology and surprisingly versatile.
Huh.
I mean, it was originally developed for military and industrial applications, but now it's used for everything from search and rescue operations to finding leaks in your house and apparently tracking escaped monkeys.
Wow. That's a pretty impressive resume for a camera.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder what other unexpected uses we'll find for this kind of technology in the future.
I know, right? It's a good reminder that technological advancements often have unintended consequences leading to applications far beyond their original purpose.
Okay, but back to the monkeys. How effective are these cameras going to be in actually catching them?
Hmm.
Are we talking like a 100% success rate?
Well, it's not a guaranteed solution.
Right.
The cameras help locate the monkeys.
Okay.
But actually catching them is another matter.
Yeah.
It depends on factors like the terrain, the monkey's behavior, and the skill of the people handling the capture.
I bet those monkeys are pretty good at hiding,
Oh, yeah.
especially with all that forest cover in South Carolina.
They are highly adaptable and intelligent creatures. They've likely figured out how to avoid some of the traps and are probably enjoying their taste of freedom for now.
So it's a game of cat and mouse, but with thermal imaging and, well, monkeys. I guess we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out.
Exactly. But regardless of the outcome, this incident has certainly given us a lot to think about.
It really has. I mean, we started out talking about ape escape and ended up having this deep dive into scientific ethics, ecosystem management, and the unexpected applications of thermal imaging. Who knew monkeys could be so multifaceted?
It's a reminder that even seemingly lighthearted events can spark meaningful conversations and lead to a deeper understanding of complex issues.
And sometimes those conversations involve monkeys, thermal cameras, and a healthy dose of absurdity.
Well, that's the beauty of learning and exploration, isn't it? You never know where it will take you.
I guess that's a good place to wrap things up.
Yeah.
So to our listeners, stay curious, keep an eye out for those escaped monkeys, but don't approach them, and maybe invest in a thermal camera just in case.
Mhm.
You never know when you might need to track down a runaway primate or two.
And remember, even when things seem chaotic and unpredictable, there's always something to be learned and a new perspective to be gained. So, until next time, stay curious and stay engaged with the world around you.